Let's go! Batter up! We're taking the afternoon off. It's a beautiful day for a ball game today. The fans are out to get a ticket or two. From Walla Walla, Washington to Kalamazoo. It's a beautiful day for a home run, but even a triple's okay. We're gonna cheer and boo and raise a hullabaloo at the ball game today.
Hey everybody, it's me, Rick Acosta, the Dodger Card Collector, coming to you with another video. Today we're going to do part 5 of the 1941 play ball set. I was able to pick up 3 cards in the last couple of REA auctions and some eBay winnings. So without further ado, let's take a look. And just to let you know, for those of you that are watching this for the first time or need a refresher, I'm currently working on a 1941 play ball set, all graded. My goal is to try to get most of the cards in a PSA 4 to 6. There will obviously be some exceptions of some of these Hall of Famers like Ted Williams and Joe DiMaggio, which I currently own in a 1. So some of these Hall of Famers, I will probably have them as 3s. So let's take a look and I'll show you what I picked up in the last few days. First on the list is going to be a 1941 play ball, George McQuinn. And he played primarily 12 seasons with the St. Louis Browns. He was a member of the 1948 World Series champion New York Yankees. His best season was 1939, where he played all 154 games, batting .316 with 20 home runs and 94 RBIs. And he was a 7-time All-Star. McQuinn retired at the end of the 1948 season at the age of 38. And he was inducted into the Arlington Sports Hall of Fame in 1958 and the Virginia Sports Hall of Fame in 1978. So that's George McQuinn. Let me bring that up a little here. Maybe it's better just to leave it down. Good looking background, the playing field in the background. That's always nice. And I like that card, but I say that all the time about all my cards. Next up is Hall of Famer Arky Vaughan, a 9-time All-Star. Vaughan played 14 years in the National League. He won the batting title in 1935 with a .385 batting average. He also had 19 homers and 99 RBIs and finished 3rd in the National League MVP balloting. Over the next 6 seasons, Vaughan continued to be one of the best hitting shortstops in the game, batting over .300 in every season and regularly being at or near the top in most offensive categories. In 1940, Vaughan was appointed team captain by new Pirates manager Frankie Frisch. And although he led the league in runs scored and triples again, he slumped to a career-low .300 batting average. In the 1941 All-Star Game, Vaughan hit 2 home runs, but was upstaged by a 9th-inning 3-run homer by American leaguer Ted Williams. Vaughan finished the year batting .316 in 106 games. That would be his last year with the Pirates, who wouldn't see a star as bright as Vaughan for almost 2 decades. The fans were outraged at his trade to Brooklyn, and his mysterious death years later helped coin the phrase, the ghost of Arky, when things got tough. Vaughan was traded to the Brooklyn Dodgers in December of 1941. It is believed that his trade was prompted due to bad feelings between Vaughan and Frisch. Since Pee Wee Reese was already at shortstop for the Dodgers, the plan was to move Vaughan to third base. Now, in 1943, the season was marred by an incident that would nearly lead to the end of Vaughan's career. During the season, temperamental manager Leo Durocher got into a confrontation with pitcher Bobo Newsom after Newsom complained about catcher Bobby Bragan dropping a 3rd strike. On July 10th, after Newsom had been suspended for 3 games, Vaughan threatened to leave the team, handing his uniform to Durocher for disposal. After Vaughn's display, only 2 players were willing to play for DeRocher that day. Eventually, upper management intervened. But after the season, he left the team, retiring to his ranch, where he went to sit out the next 3 years. After DeRocher was suspended before the 1947 season, Vaughn decided to try a comeback, serving something more like as a utility player. He played 64 games and batted .325. He played in his only World Series that season, which the Dodgers lost to the New York Yankees. Vaughn appeared in 3 games in the 1947 World Series, all as a pinch hitter. He reached base twice on a walk and a double. And at the end of the 1948 season, the Dodgers released Vaughn. Vaughn was inducted into the National Baseball Hall of Fame in 1985, following which Vaughn's daughter Patricia received this brief, handwritten, congratulatory letter. Vaughn, mind you, was from Fullerton, California. The letter read, "I was a substitute tackle on the Fullerton High School Championship 130-pound team and remember Arky as our star halfback. Fast, hard-nosed, and even a real professional. Sincerely, Richard Nixon." Vaughn drowned in a boating accident in 1952. He was just 40 years old. And the last card for today is Hall of Famer Charlie Gehringer, widely regarded one of the greatest second basemen of all time. Gehringer compiled a .320 batting average and had 7 seasons with more than 200 hits. A 6-time All-Star, he was the starting second baseman and played every inning of the first 6 All-Star games. He was also a member of the 1935 World Champion Detroit Tigers. Gehringer's first full season in the big leagues was 1926, which was Ty Cobb's last season as the Tigers player-manager. At first, Gehringer recalled that Cobb was like a father to me. Gehringer's father had died in 1924. Cobb even made Gehringer use his own bat. According to Gehringer, Cobb's bat was a thin little thing. And though Gehringer would have preferred a bigger bat, I didn't use another one. Each year from 1926 to 1930, Gehringer improved his stats in 3 Triple Crown categories: batting average, home runs, and RBI. The only other player to do that for 5 years is Rogers Hornsby. Gehringer had a reputation as quiet and unassuming. Player-manager Mickey Cochran joked that Charlie says hello on opening day, goodbye on closing day, and in between hits .350. Gehringer's 127 RBIs in 1934 is all the more remarkable given the fact that he played in the same lineup with one of the greatest RBI men of all time, Hank Greenberg. Gehringer later recalled that Greenberg would tell him, "Just get the runner over to third," so Hank could drive them in. Gehringer noted that Hank loved those RBIs, to the point that Gehringer once kidded Greenberg, "You'd trip a runner coming around third base just so you can knock him in yourself." The 1934 World Series was a matchup between St. Louis's Gas House Gang and Detroit's G-Men, so named because of the stars Gehringer, Hank Greenberg, and Goose Goslin. Even 50 years later, Gehringer, who was interviewed in 1982, felt that the Tigers were robbed of the 1934 championship by umpire Brick Owens. Detroit was ahead 3-2, and in Gehringer's view, we should have won the 6th game. Late in the game, Brick Owens called Mickey Cochran out on a play at third base, even though all of the photographs showed that he was safe by a mile. Gehringer insisted that if Cochran had been called safe, we would have loaded the bases with nobody out, and we could have had a big inning. The Tigers wound up losing Game 6 by 1 run. Then they lost Game 7, an 11-0 shutout thrown by Dizzy Dean. In 1935, Gehringer and the Tigers won a World Series, beating the Chicago Cubs 4-2. It was the Tigers' first ever World Series win after failing in the Fall Classic in previous 4 appearances. For that year, Gehringer hit .330, collecting 201 hits, 123 RBIs, make that 123 runs and 108 RBIs and 19 home runs. Once again, though, Gehringer was among the top vote getters in the MVP race, again losing to his own teammate, Hank Greenberg. Gehringer finally won the American League Most Valuable Player trophy and a batting crown in 1937, hitting a career-high .37 batting average and placed second in on-base percentage with another career-high .458. The 1937 season also saw Gehringer collect 209 hits. Gehringer retired after the 1941 season. He was elected into the Baseball Hall of Fame in 1949. At a 1983 ceremony in Tiger Stadium, the Tigers retired uniform numbers 2 and 5, worn for many years by teammates Gehringer and Hank Greenberg, respectively. Both players attended the ceremony. At age 92, Gehringer served as the American League's honorary captain at the 1986 Major League Baseball All-Star Game at the Astrodome in Houston. Gehringer died in 1993 at the age of 89. And in 1999, he ranked number 46 on the Sporting News list of 100 greatest baseball players and was nominated as a finalist for the Major League Baseball All-Century team. Lastly, retired Hall of Fame pitcher John Smoltz was a cousin of Gehringer. Smoltz stated, "My grandfather was a Gehringer during the Detroit Tigers versus New York Yankees game broadcast in June of 2016. And he added, I got a chance to play golf with him when I think he was 81 years old, and he might have shot his age." That's a great story. I loved learning about Charlie Gehringer. In fact, while I'm recording this video, I need to find to see if Charlie has a biography, because I would love to read more about him. There was so much info about him. So those are my 3 cards to update my 1941 play ball set. So to give you some stats, of the 72 cards in the set, I have 43 of them. Still need 29 more. Of the 15 Hall of Famers, I have 9 of them. I still need 6. Ted Williams, Bobby Doerr, Joe Cronin, Chuck Klein, Bill Dickey, and Lefty Gomez. So let's see how this goes. It's going to be a slow-moving set. I'm currently watching a few cards on eBay and on some auctions. I don't know how I'm going to do, so we'll see. Anyway, if you stuck around with me for this long, thanks so much, guys. We'll talk to you soon. Take care.